morning, students. Dear students, today we are going to learning something about 10th standard second language English. Under that, there is a one unit called the concept. So today we know something about the unit called the concept. The concept. So this is a beautiful unit for 10th standard students. So under that, today we cannot able to learn all those things. That's why we know something about the author of the lesson. To know the author of the lesson, and we know something about introductional aspects of the unit. Introductional aspects of the lesson. The concept. See, dear students, the concept lesson was written by Shanta Rameshwara. Shanta who wrote the lesson, the concept. Dear students, so now we will be learn something about author of the lesson, Shanta Rameshwara. So now, who was Shanta Rameshwara? Shanta Rameshwara. She was born in 1924. She was born in 1924. And she is an Indian writer. Of myths and legends. And folk tales, short stories, and picture of books for children. Picture of books for children. See, these are all the several things about Shanta Rameshwara. She was born on 1924 and she was an Indian writer of myths and legends. Myths means kattukate purana anta heltivala adu kattukate athava purana, the oldest stories. Legend means dantakate. See, these are all several areas worked by Shanta Rameshwara. So that's why she was a famous writer and author and short story writer, and she wrote picture books for children. She was retold tales from Indian scriptures and reworked folk tales and myths from little known tribal communities and far flung areas of India. In Tales of Ancient India, she retells original stories like how the star got its long neck and why snakes have forked tongues. Children's Mahabharata in 1968 and in Worship of Shiva, published in the year 1998, drawn from Hindu myth and scripture, have demons, gods, and humans as characters. She stressed the importance of wise action in our public as well as private life. See, dear students, these are the several lines of our author Shanta Rameshwar Rao. So, what she was going to write in the lesson? The concert. Now we move into the lesson. Concert. Dear students, please open your textbook. Page number 86, where we can observe so many lines of the Shanta Rameshwar Rao. Now we can simply go through that lines. Okay. First I am going to read the lesson. Please listen carefully. Okay. See, the lesson title is The Concert. It means the performance of music. ಅಥವಾ ಇದನ್ನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಗೀತ ಕಚೇರಿ. ಸಂಗೀತ ಕಚೇರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ. See, concert written by Shanta Rameshwar Rao. One morning in a small apartment in Bombay, a girl of about 16 looked up from the newspaper and said excitedly, Pandit Ravi Shankar's playing tomorrow at the Shanmukananda Auditorium. Sure, said her mother, pointing to the figure sleeping on the bed. You will wake up him. You know he needs all the sleep and rest he can get. But the boy on the bed was not asleep. Pandit Ravi Shankar, he said, Pandit Ravi Shankar, the sitar maestro. He raised himself up on his elbows for 1 second, then fell back, but his eyes were shining. We must not miss the chance, he said. I have always wanted to hear him and see him. Lie down, son, lie down. His mother sprang to his side. He actually raised himself up without help. She murmured with a catch in her throat, and her eyes turned to the idols on a corner shelf. The prayer which she uttered endlessly came unbidden to her lips. I must hear him and see him, the boy repeated. It's the chance of a lifetime. Then he began to cough and gasp for breath and had to be given oxygen from the cylinder that stood under the bed. But his large eyes were fixed on his sister. And Smita bit her lip in self-reproach. She had been so excited at seeing the announcement that she had not remembered that her brother was very ill. She had seen how the doctors had shaken their heads gravely and spoken words that neither she nor her parents could understand. But somewhere deep inside, Smita had known the frightening truth that Anant was going to die. The word cancer had hung in the air. Her brother was dying of cancer, even though the pretended that all would be well and they would return together, a small family of four, to their home in Gaganapur. And he was only 15 and the best table tennis player in the school and the fastest runner. He was learning to play the sitar. They were both taking sitar lessons. But Anant was better than Rahaz in many other things. He was already able to compose his own tunes to the astonishment of their guru. Then cancer had struck and they had come to Bombay so that he could be treated at the cancer hospital in the city. Whenever they came to Bombay, the family stayed with Aunt Sushila's. Her apartment was not big, but there was always room for them. They had come with high hopes in the miracles of modern science. They told themselves that Anant would be cured at the hospital and he would again walk and run and even take part in the forthcoming table tennis tournament. And he would play the sitar and perhaps would be a great sitarist one day. But his condition grew worse with each passing day, and the doctors at the cancer hospital said, "Take him home, give him the things he likes, indulge him," and they knew then that the boy had not many days to live. But they did not voice their fears. They laughed and smiled and talked and surrounded Anant with whatever made him happy. They fulfilled his every need and gave whatever he asked. For, and now he was asking to go to the concert. The chance of a lifetime, he was saying. When you are better, his mother said, this is not the last time they are going to play. Smita stood at the window looking at the traffic, her eyes filled with tears. Her mother whispered, "But you, Smita, you must go, your father will take you." When she was alone with Aunt Sushila, Smita cried out in a choked voice, "No, how can I? We have always done things together, Anant and I. A walk in the park might make you feel better," said Aunt Sushila, and Smita was grateful for her suggestion. In the park, people were walking, running, playing ball, doing yogic exercises, feeding the ducks and eating roasted gram and peanuts. Smita felt alone in their midst. She was lost in her thoughts. Suddenly a daring thought came to her, and as she hurried home, she said to herself, "Why not? There's no harm in trying it. It would be nice to go to the concert. I don't like when wow get another opportunity to hear Pandit Ravi Shankar. She said to her mother later, and her father agreed to get the tickets. See, dear students, these are all the several lines of today's class. So, what these lines are going to tell us? Dear students, here is the paragraph number 1. It tells something about introductional aspects of the lesson, the concept. Here already you know that the meaning of the concept. Here the concept means musical performances. In Kannada what we call Sangeeta Kacheri. A music performance on the stage where we observe that there are several musical instruments and singers are there. See, such kind of activity what we call the concert. So, what happens here? Here is a boy, his name Anand. Here is a boy, his name Anand. He was struck with cancer. Such kind of boy. What are the aspirations he had? Such kind of several aspects we can observe here. Even he was on the bed of death. He had a lot of desires. Really, he was a desires before he was dead. Let me see in these lines. Okay, come on. One morning, in a small apartment in Bombay. A small apartment means apartment, or here the word apartment. Apartment. See the complex of houses. The complex of houses which built too much of height. Like this. See, there are so many houses in a single building that we called as apartment. In a small apartment in Bombay. Are you heard the name of Bombay? Where it comes? Here it comes in Australia or America? No, in India. Okay. Let I show to you where it exactly comes. See, here is a Karnataka, Goa, and Maharashtra, where we observe the see, in that town there is a story comes here. Okay. A girl of about 16 years looked up from the newspaper and said excitedly. Here excitedly means excited. Excited. It means feeling. Feeling. Or showing happiness. Or showing happiness. Happiness. And enthusiasm. And enthusiasm. See, this is we called as anxiety. Here is a girl about 16 years who looked up from the newspaper and said excitedly, Pandit Ravi Shankar's playing tomorrow at the Shanmugananda Act. So, dear students, are you heard the name of Pandit Ravi Shankar? Yes, Pandit Ravi Shankar is an Indian musician, composer, and a great sitar player who belongs to India. So, whose program held at Shanmukananda Auditorium of Bombay? That was the news. She was read out in the newspaper in that apartment. Who read that newspaper? About 16 years old girl who read the newspaper and about Pandit Ravi Shankar performances said at Shanmukananda Auditorium. When that time our mother said her mother, pointing to the figure sleeping on the bed. ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗಾಗ್ಲೇ ಆ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಆ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರನ್ನು ಓದಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ತಾಯಿ ಸನ್ನೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾಳೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಲೀಪಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಬೆಡ್ ಫಿಗರ್ ಯಾರು? ಅನಂತ್ ಆ ಬೆಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಲಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಮಲಗಿದರೆ ಅವನನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸಿ ತಾಯಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, ಮಲಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ವೇಕ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಅಪ್, ಎಬ್ಬಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀಯ ಅವನು, ಹುಷಾರ್, ಎಬ್ಬಿಸ್ಬೇಡ. ಈ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಸ್ಲೀಪ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೆಟ್. ಅವನಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ದಣಿವಾಗಿದೆ, ಆಯಾಸ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ ಹುಡುಗಿಯ ಅನಂತ ಅವರ ತಾಯಿ ಆ ಹುಡುಗಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ದ ಬಾಯ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಬೆಡ್ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಸ್ಲೀಪ್, but really didn't sleep. Pandit Ravi Shankar, he was heard that name, immediately asleep. He said, Pandit Ravi Shankar, the sitar maestro. ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು, ಓ ಪಂಡಿತ್ ರವಿಶಂಕರ್, ಸಿತಾರ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟ್ರೋ, your maestro means? Especially is a musician who called as maestro. Yes, sitar. It is one type of musical instrument. Okay. He raised himself up on his elbows for 1 second. ಹಾಸಿಗೆಯಿಂದ ಎದ್ದೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. Then fell back. ಹಿಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಪಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. But his eyes were shining. ಅವನ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳು ಪಳ 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 ಹೊಳೆಯುತ್ತಿದೆ. ವಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮಿಸ್ ದ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಈ ಸ್ಯಾಟ್. ಅಕ್ಕ, ವಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮಿಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಈ ಸ್ಯಾಟ್. ಈ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಳೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಬಾರದು. ಐ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಹಿಯರ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿ. ನಾನು ಅವರನ್ನು ನೋಡಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಅವರ ಹಾಡನ್ನು ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅನಂತ ಎಂಬ ಬಾಲಕನಿಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಡೀತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅಕ್ಕ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಕ್ಕ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರಲ್ಲಿ ಪಂಡಿತ್ ರವಿಶಂಕರ್ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಸಂಗೀತ ಕಚೇರಿ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವನು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತಾನೆ, ಅಕ್ಕ, ಪಂಡಿತ್ ರವಿಶಂಕರ್ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಸಿತಾರ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟ್ರೋ ಅಂತ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು. ಅವರನ್ನು ನೋಡಬೇಕು, ಅವರ ಸಂಗೀತವನ್ನು ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಅಭಿಲಾಷೆ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಈಗ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, ಲೈ ಡೌನ್ ಸನ್, ಲೈ ಡೌನ್. ಹಾಸಿಗೆಯಿಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಎದ್ದಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ತಾಯಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಲೈ ಡೌನ್ ಮೈ ಸನ್, ಲೈ ಡೌನ್. ಮಲ್ಗು ಮಗನೆ, ಮಲ್ಗು, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ಮಲ್ಗು. ಹಿಸ್ ಮದರ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಟು ಹಿಸ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಸ್ಪ್ರಾಂಗ್, ಮೂಡ್ quickly and suddenly. That is sprang. Sprang means move quickly. Move quickly and suddenly. Suddenly towards a particular place. Towards a particular that is called sprang. Sprang means moved quickly and suddenly towards a particular place. That is called sprang. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರ ತಾಯಿ ಅವನು ಹಾಸಿಗೆಯಿಂದ ಎದ್ದೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಮ್ಮ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ, ಅವನ ಬಳಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಲ್ಗು ಮಗನೆ, ಮಲ್ಗು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಹಿಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಅಪ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್. He actually rised up without anybody's help. She murmured with a catch in her throat and her eyes turned to the idols of the corner cell. ಅವಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತುಗಳು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಗಂಟಲಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಾತು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಒಳಗೆ ಪಿಸುಗುಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಕಾರ್ನರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದ ದೇವರ ವಿಗ್ರಹಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. The prayer which she uttered endlessly came unbidden in her lips. ಬಾಯಿಯನ್ನು ತೆರೆಯದನೆ ನೂರಾರು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆಗಳನ್ನು ದೇವರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ನನ್ನ ಮಗನಿಗೆ ವಾಸಿಯಾಗಲಿ ಅಪ್ಪ ಬೇಗ. I must hear him and see him, the boy repeated. It's she chance of a lifetime. Then he began to cough and gasp for breath and had to be given oxygen from the cylinder that stood under the bed, but his large eyes were fixed on his sister. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅನಂತ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, I must hear him and see him ಅಂತ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಕೂಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. He was repeated like that. It's the chance of lifetime ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಇದು ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನದ ಒಂದು ಆಸೆ. Then he began to cough and gasp. ಆಗ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಕೆಮ್ಮು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಉಸಿರಾಟ ಆಡುವುದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಮ್ಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ಅನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಬೆಡ್. ಅವನ ಹಾಸಿಗೆ ಕೆಳಗಿದ್ದಂಥ ಸಿಲಿಂಡರನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಐಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್. ಆದರೆ ಅವನ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳು ತನ್ನ ಅಕ್ಕನನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇವೆ. See, these are all the lines of the fourth paragraph. And move to now, fifth. Smita bit her lip in self-reproach. Smita bit her lip in self-reproach. She had been so excited at seeing the announcement that she had not remembered that her brother was very ill. She had seen how the doctors had shaken their heads gravely and spoken to words that neither she nor her parents could understand. But somewhere deep inside, Smita had known the frightening truth that Anant was going to die. See, in this time, Smita, who was Smita? Sister. Sister of Anant, her name Smita. Smita bit her lip in self-reproach. Self-reproach. What it means? Self-reproach. So it means a blame or criticism. A blame or criticism. Criticism against ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ, ವಿಮರ್ಶೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ, ತನ್ನನ್ನು ತಾನೇ ಟೀಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಬೀನ್ ಸೋ ಎಕ್ಸೈಟೆಡ್ ಅಟ್ ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ದಟ್, ಆ ಪತ್ರಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಂಥ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸೈಟೆಡ್ ದಟ್ ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ಡ್ ದಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಬ್ರದರ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಲ್. ನನ್ನ ತಮ್ಮ ಈ ಥರ ಅನಾರೋಗ್ಯದಿಂದ ನರಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅನ್ನುವುದನ್ನು ಮರ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸೈಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಲು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಳನ್ನು ಅವಳೇ ಶಪಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. She had seen how the doctors had shaken their heads gravely and spoken words that neither she nor her parents could understand, but somewhere deep inside. ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ತಲೆ ಅಲ್ಲಾಡಿಸೋದು, ತನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿರ್ತಾಳೆ ಸ್ಮಿತಾ. ಸ್ಮಿತಾ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ನಾನ್ ದ ಫ್ರೈಟನಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ರೂತ್ ದಟ್ ಅನಂತ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡೈ. ಸ್ಮಿತಾಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅನಂತ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡೈ, ನನ್ನ ತಮ್ಮ ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. Smita had known the frightening truth that Anant was going to die. The word cancer had hung in the air. Her brother was dying of cancer, even though she pretended that all would be well. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನ ಸಹೋದರನಿಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್, ಅವನು ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಸುದ್ದಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅವಳಿಗೆ. She pretended that all would well and they would return together. ಆಸೆಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಆಸೆ ಹೊಂದಿರ್ತಾಳೆ. ಎ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಆಫ್ 4, ಇವರ ಕುಟುಂಬ 4 ಜನ. ಎ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಆಫ್ 4 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಟು ದೇರ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಇನ್ ಗಗನಾಪುರ್. ದೇರ್ ವಿಲೇಜ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗಗನಾಪುರ್ and he was only 15 years. And the best table tennis player. Anant was 15-year-old boy. 15-year-old boy. Anant was all-rounder and the best table tennis player in the school. And the fastest runner also. He was learning to play the sitar also. They were both taking sitar lessons, but Anant was better than her in many other things. Smitaಗೆ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ Anant was better in many things. He was very intelligent boy. He was learning to play sitar. They were both taking sitar lessons, but Anant was better than her as in many other things. He was already able to compose his own tunes to the astonishment of their guru. Astonishment of their guru. ಅವನು ಸ್ವಂತ ಸಂಗೀತವನ್ನು ಸಂಯೋಜನೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಯಾರಿಗಾಗಿ? ಅಸ್ಟಾನಿಶ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಗುರು. Astonishment. Your astonishment means a feeling of a very great surprise. A feeling of a great surprise. A feeling of great surprise. ತನ್ನ ಗುರಿಗೆ ಸರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತಾನೇ ಸದಾ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯೂನನ್ನು ಕಂಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಗುರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ. Then cancer had struck and they had come to Bombay. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ಬಾಂಬೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. So that he could be treated at the cancer hospital in the city. ಅಲ್ಲಿನ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. Whenever they came to Bombay, the family stayed with Aunt Sushila. Her apartment was not big, but there was always room for them. Whenever, whatever, wherever they came to Bombay, ಬಾಂಬೆಗೆ ಯಾತಕ್ಕಾದರೂ ಏನಕ್ಕಾದರೂ ಬಂದಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ದೇವರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಡ್ ಇನ್ ಆಂಟ್ ಸುಶೀಲಾ, ಅವರ ಆಂಟಿಯ ಒಂದು ಮನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವರ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಉಳ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿಗ್, ಬಟ್ ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ದೆಮ್. ಅದು ದೊಡ್ಡದಲ್ಲದೇ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಒಂದು ಕೋಣೆಯನ್ನು ಅವರಿಗಾಗಿ ಮೀಸಲಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಮ್ಮ. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಕಮ್ ವಿತ್ ಹೈ ಹೋಪ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಆಸೆಗಳನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟು ಭರವಸೆಗಳನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ ದ ಮಿರಾಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್, ಆಧುನಿಕ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನದ ಚಮತ್ಕಾರಗಳನ್ನು. ಮಿರಾಕಲ್, ಮಿರಾಕಲ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ MIRACLE, ಮಿರಾಕಲ್, an act or event, an act or event, an act or event that does not follow, that does not follow, does not follow the laws of nature, the laws of nature, laws of nature, and is believed to be and is believed to be caused by God, caused by God. See, that is regarded as miracle. An act or event that does not follow the laws of nature and is believed to be caused by God. That is what we call miracle. ಸೊ ಆಧುನಿಕ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನದ ಮಿರಾಕಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಂಬಿ ಇವರು ಬಾಂಬೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. And later on, what happened? IOS, miracles of modern science, they told themselves that Anant would be cured at the hospital and he would again walk and run and even take part in the forthcoming table tennis tournament. ಮುಂಬರುವ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಟೆನ್ನಿಸ್ ಟೂರ್ನಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲೂ ಇವನು ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಾನೆ, ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಸೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈ ವುಡ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ದ ಸಿತಾರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪರ್ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ಎ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಸಿತಾರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಡೇ. ಒಂದು ದಿನ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಿತಾರ್ ವಾದಕನಾಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇವನು ಅನ್ನುವ ಆಸೆಗಳು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. But his condition grew worse with each passing day and the doctors at the cancer hospital said, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿನ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, ದಿನೇ 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 ವರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. And the doctors at the cancer hospital said, take him home, give him the things he likes, indulge him. And they knew then that the boy had not many days to live. But they did not voice their fears. They laughed and smiled and talked and surrounded Anant with whatever made him happy. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನ ಜೊತೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಬೇಕೋ ಆಸೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಈಡೇರಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ನೀಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗೇವ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಈ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೌ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಟು ದ ಕನ್ಸರ್ಟ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವನು ಇವತ್ತು ಕನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ದ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಲೈಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಯು ವಾಸ್ ಸೇಮ್. ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನದ ಒಂದು ಆಸೆ, ಕೊನೆಯ ಆಸೆ. ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಬೆಟರ್, ಹಿಸ್ ಮದರ್ ಸೆಡ್, ನೀನು ಸರಿ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಣ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಮ್ಮ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇ. ಇದು ಇವತ್ತೇ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ 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 ಸಂಗೀತ ಕಚೇರಿ ಏರ್ಪಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ಮಿತಾ ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ವಿಂಡೋ ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್. ಕಿಟಕಿಯನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. ರೈಸ್ ಫಿಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟೀಯರ್ಸ್, ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ತುಂಬಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸ್ಮಿತಾಗೆ. ಹರ್ ಮದರ್ ವಿಸ್ಪರ್ಡ್, ಹರ್ ಮದರ್ ವಿಸ್ಪರ್ಡ್, ಹರ್ ಮದರ್ ವಿಸ್ಪರ್ಡ್. ಬಟ್ ಯು ಸ್ಮಿತಾ, ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋ, ಯುವರ್ ಫಾದರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಯು. ಸ್ಮಿತಾ, ನೀನು ಹೋಗು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪಾಜಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ನನ್ನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ವೆನ್ ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ಅಲೋನ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಂಟ್ ಸುಶೀಲಾ, ಸ್ಮಿತಾ ಕ್ರೈಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಜೋಕ್ಡ್ ವಾಯ್ಸ್. ತನ್ನ ಆಂಟಿಯ ಬಳಿ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಬಿಕ್ಕಳಿಸಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, ನೋ ಹೌ ಕೆನ್ ಐ ಗೋ, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಡನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್. ಅನಂತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐ, ನಾವು ಇಬ್ಬರು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಲಿ, ಏನೇ ಮಾಡಲಿ ಒಟ್ಟೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಅನಂತ್ ಇಲ್ದಿರ ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ಹೋಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ಲು ಸ್ಮಿತಾ. A walk in the park might make you feel better, said Aunt Sushila. ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಆಂಟಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತು, ಆ ಪಾರ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ವಾಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಬಾ, ಫ್ರೀ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮೈಂಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಮಿತಾ ಅಗ್ರೀಡ್, ಗ್ರೇಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಸಜೆಷನ್. ಇನ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್, ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಆ ಪಾರ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪ್ಲೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಬಾಲ್ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಯೋಗಾಸನಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಫೀಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡಕ್ಸ್, ಬಾತುಕೋಳಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಕಾಳುಗಳನ್ನು, ಈಟಿಂಗ್ ರೋಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್, ಕಾಳುಗಳು ರೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಕಾಳು ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪೀನಟ್ಸ್ ಬಟಾಣಿಗಳನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ಮಿತಾ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್ ಅಲೋನ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಮಿಡ್ಸ್ಟ್. ಅವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಡ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಹರ್ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್. ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಏನು ಥಾಟ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆಲೋಚನೆಗಳು ಹೊಳಿತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. Suddenly a daring thought came to her, and as she hurried home, she said to herself, "Why not? There's no harm in trying it." Suddenly a daring thought came to her. ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಡೇರಿಂಗ್ ಥಾಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅವಳ ಬಳಿ. And as she hurried home, she said to herself, "Why not? There's no harm in trying it." ಅವಳ ತಲೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಹೊಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇಟ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ನೈಸ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಟು ದ ಕನ್ಸರ್ಟ್. ನಾನು ಕನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ವೆನ್ ವೆಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಅನದರ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಟು ಹಿಯರ್ ಪಂಡಿತ್ ರವಿಶಂಕರ್. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ be nice to attend the concert, she said to her mother later, and her father agreed to get the tickets. So ಅವರ ಅಮ್ಮನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ಲು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರ ಅಪ್ಪಾಜಿ ಟಿಕೆಟನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದರು. ಈಗ ಅವಳು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಸೆವೆರಲ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೆಸನ್, ದ ಕನ್ಸರ್ಟ್. ಸೊ this is the lesson purely tells something about Anand's. Was the great fan of a great sitar master, Pandit Ravishankar. He was always humbled to see the Ravishankar and listen to his sitar's performance. These are all the several aspirations of a boy Anand's. So how can he finally fulfill his desires? Let it be discussed in next class. Okay? Now I am stopped here. Remaining will be discussed on the next class. Dear students, in this class, is there any doubts? Please ask to me. Yeah, any doubts? Please ask to me. Otherwise, I will give you several questions for your homework activities. Okay? Write down the questions. Write down. Write down homework question. Write down homework question number 1. Why do you think? Why do you think? Why do you think? The mother cautioned the brother. The mother cautioned. Cautioned. C-A-U-T-I-O-N-A. Cautioned the girl. See, this is the question. Please write down in your notebook and answer this. And my another question is, write a few lines on Anand's family. Anand's family. Okay? Have you wrote down all the questions? Yes. Please write the answer for these questions. So, apart from these things, you have any doubts, please ask me. Otherwise, I will stop here. Okay, I hope that you are all understand about the lesson. Okay, thank you, Amanda.